For demonstration purposes, I have several phone emulators running on my computer. So there's two Android phones here, one in light mode, one in dark mode, two iPhones, one in light mode and one in dark mode. The first step in the process of joining an event is to sign in. If the user doesn't already have an account, they can click this little sign up button and create an account right within the app. After that, they can enter either their email address and password or their username and password and sign in. The next step is for the user to enter their event code. So I can do that, or they can do that by simply copying and pasting the code, or they can type it in manually. But we've provided these handy little prompts here, and on the iPhone, they double check all pastes. And then the next question is, in addition to the event code, an access code. This is optional, so if you just want anybody to be able to join your event, you don't need to provide an access code. If you want them to perform some action beforehand, like signing up or registering or doing something in some other system, then providing an access code. You can either provide an access code that's the same code for all users, or you can provide an individual access code for each individual user, just depending on your needs. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to reuse the same access code for all users. And then we'll go ahead and join the event. So now that the user's actually logged into the event, they can do a couple of things. So they have a captured territory option where they can basically go in, and let's allow location services. And as the user's moving, they're being tracked. They can look at the territory map. So this is the map of other users that have captured territories. You can see that somebody else has already captured some territory here. And then you have the leaderboard, which is essentially the leaderboard for everybody who's currently participating in this event. And then you have something interesting, which is an event homepage. So this is a homepage that the person creating the event can define, and you can point this anywhere. So for this demo, I've pointed it to the homepage of the company that is performing this event, D2 Power Sports, but it could be anything. So let's dive into capturing territories. So on each one of these screens, we will start a capture, and what you'll see is that the first one, you're probably for a few things, but it's basically it's drawing a virtual line between the start and the stop, and then actually actively tracking the user in all other locations. So it's taking a recording of exactly where they physically are, and then also drawing kind of a virtual line, so they end up capturing area. And you'll see this will get bigger as kind of they move. The little blue area will grow larger, and it shows you how much territory they're actually capturing. Obviously this could be in feet or meters depending on how your phone is defined. It also shows some other information which is interesting. Your total distance, your duration. You can cycle through your speed and pace and things like that. And you can define within an event the maximum amount of time somebody can capture for, and that countdown will happen here. So I think I've got this set for something like 16 hours. There's a legend. You can force the screen to stay on. Some users like that, but obviously if you put the app in the background, it'll just keep capturing in the background, no problem. And you can see on this one, now that this person has started to move off of a straight line, you can see they start capturing a lot more territory. So we'll go ahead and get all of these guys going. So the emulator has the ability to kind of simulate movement. So that's what I've got going on here. They're all moving at different locations. And start capture. Okay. So the Android versions and the iPhone versions are slightly different, just because they act differently on different phones. But you can see people capturing this territory. but they do look very similar for the most part. They're intended to be essentially the same application. Now, once we've captured some territory and we want to actually record that and actually make it, officially part of our entry in the event. So what I can do is I can first pause my capture if I had some reason to do that, and then I can either resume it or I can finish it. And so if I resume it, it'll just continue. If I finish it, it'll ask me if I want to either claim the territory or abandon it. So if somebody accidentally started something, they're not forced to submit it. So I'll say claim this territory, and I'll do the same thing here, here, and here. So once we've completed our capture, we can kind of review it. And the interesting thing here is each user can decide what they want to show, so they can come in here and show or hide all the different items on the screen. They can even, if they want to record a note or something, they can put a heading in there. They can change what the activity reads, the notes, so they can really customize the stuff that they want to show. And the intent here is the ability to review what you just did, obviously, but also to actually share it with people online. So we'll just come through here and share each one of these. And what you'll see is that the user can share the photos. That's really because some applications prefer to, they just work better if you share within them an existing photo, so we provide that opportunity. Or if you share just using the traditional functionality within the phone to share to Facebook or whatever, on the individual's phone, all the stuff would be listed here, all the normal stuff. So they can share right from here, and then when they're done, well, let's actually take a look at. Let's share all these just so we can see the differences between iPhone and Android. Oops. So obviously on an actual phone you'd have a lot more options. You wouldn't be limited to just these few things. Well, let's go ahead and now take a look at photos, for example. So what you'll see is that the actual photo itself, get the one we just did, yeah. So it has a QR code. That QR code will actually point to the home page, which, if you allow people to sign up, or if you're trying to drive traffic to a particular page, that page will show here. And what you'll notice is that this main menu, these buttons and these zoom buttons have been all removed. So this just provides the thing that's actually posted to social media or to your photos is a refined version of the same thing. So if you add or remove items, here in the list, more information will show, and this gray area will grow wider. But when you go to share or save to photos, it does remove this menu at the top and these zoom buttons just to make things a lot cleaner. Now, once you're done sharing and reviewing your capture, you can return to the main menu, and then from there we can take a look at the territory map. So this will show us what information others have captured, so what relative to where we are. So for example, you can see this yellow means that somebody else captured that area, not me, and the blue means this is the area that I captured. So you can kind of differentiate between those things. So you can see down here, this orange area is something somebody else captured, and this blue area is something that I captured. And if this were a real event and there was a lot of activity from a lot of users, obviously there'd be stuff all over the place. So let's take a look also at the leaderboard itself. So the leaderboard, pop over there. What we'll see is that it shows you. I can switch this, obviously. I'm in the U.S., so everything is showing up as miles. Anyway, but you can see that all the participants, their total area, and if you use some other metric here, obviously it would change to whatever that metric is, if it was distance or time or whatever. But assuming that total area is what you're going for, everybody would see the same leaderboard, and both the leaderboard and the territory map, both of these update in real time. So literally just a few minutes after you complete a capture, it will show up right on the right on this territory view, and so all users can stay abreast of where they are relative to other people in pretty much near real time. As soon as somebody submits that claim on the territory, it will show up. Now you can run this in a couple of different ways. So you can run it so that if people overlap territory, it actually steals territory from another user. That definitely increases kind of the competitive nature of the game. But for something like this, which is like people who are riding motorcycles, a lot of times they'll ride in groups, and what you may want to do is not allow raiding from others' territory, but essentially allow everybody to capture the same territory, but you can restrict it so that you as an individual can't capture the same territory twice. That essentially forces you to ride different rides to gain more territory, rather than just riding the same loop every single day to gain territory. On the flip side of that, if you had something like a walking group or something that was doing a competition for the amount of distance walked or something, you may very much want them to be able to record that every single day. But for a motorcycle challenge like we've got here, I think probably not allowing the territory capture from one another is the right move, but preventing a user from simply doing the same ride every day and capturing new territory on the same ride every day. Instead, they would have to branch out, to get other territory. I think that's a good compromise between a decent level of competition, but also the ability to do group rides, which a lot of people really enjoy.